30 years back, in 1990, a shoe company in India by the name Liberty Shoe Company came out with a good looking first sports shoe in India by the name Force 10. We call it sneakers now, but at those periods, those times, we used to call it sports shoes. Now the shoe was so impressive, I immediately thought of buying a pair for me. I went to my mom and expressed my desire that I would like to buy this shoe. The cost was 1,000 rupees. And 1,000 rupees was a big price for a shoe at that time. Now my mom, a very gentle lady, homemaker, she said, okay, son, if you want to have it, then okay, we'll arrange, you can buy. But my father was a very towering personality. Engineer, working in electricity department, very, very honest. So my mom said that do not disclose the price of the shoe to your father. He might get angry that why we have wasted 1,000 rupees on buying a pair of shoe. She said, let's say that the cost of the shoe was 500 rupees. So I said, okay. As far as I am getting the shoe, 500 rupees is okay. So I said, fine. So when my father came in the evening, I was very happy. I took my pair of shoe to him to show, and he was actually very impressed. He said, yes, the shoe is very good. It looks very comfortable. So Vikas, how much it costed? So as was the pact with my mom, I said 500 rupees. So then he had a relook at the shoe and said, it's very good. Let us buy one more pair for me. And there was a silence. Why there was a silence? Because mom didn't have the budget, monthly budget, to buy two pair of 50% discounted Force 10 shoes. And there was big silence. Actually, there were 6 members in our family. 2 brothers, 2 first cousins, kids of my maternal uncle. They were staying with us. They were getting education. Because my father was the first person in the family to migrate from village to city. So it was a moral responsibility to extend education facility to other, I would say, members of the family. So 2 cousins were there with us. Mom was housemaker, and only father was the earning member. So 6 members in family, 5 dependents, and 1 person was earning. And I would say that going out on tours, travel, tourism, all that was not available. In our winter break, summer break, we were basically going to maternal grandparents' house or paternal grandparents' house and spending our summer and winter vacations there. The pocket allowance was 1 rupee per week. We used to get that 1 rupee on Monday, and we were expected to use that 1 rupee throughout the week. We could buy kulfis, we could buy bread pakoras, we could buy anything, but the supply was 1 rupee. Now I take the clock back to the present time. Now, today, my younger son is studying in Sherwood College, Nainital. For his winter break, he came in November. They have 3 months winter break because there is snow in Nainital, so they come back to their homes for 3 months. So he came in November. January happens to be his month of birth. So his birth date is 5th January. So because it was winter vacation, so one fine evening I just asked him that what would you like to have as your birthday present. And to my amazement, I was so amazed, he said, Papa, I would like to buy Apple iPhone 11 Pro, which was launched about October, November only. I even didn't know what is the price of the phone. But being a very obedient father, like we all are now, I said, okay, son, if you have expressed your desire to buy a phone, and that too Apple phone, fine, we'll buy for you. So, we went to the nearest Apple store. In Apple store, the clerk or the store manager, I can say, he picked the golden one, the golden phone. The store manager said that the price of the phone is 100,000 rupees. So, it of course, came as a little information to me rather. So, I said, okay, what is the mode of payment? He said, you can buy using any credit card, debit card. So, we went to the store clerk, the store manager to make the payment, and I picked out the credit card. So, it was basically HDFC Infinia card. So, when I gave the card to him, the manager said, sir, you are very lucky. The manager said, you are very lucky. On your credit card, Apple is offering 10,000 rupees payback and 10x rewards points. Now, I was a little perturbed that store manager is saying that you are very lucky, and incidentally, this statement that you are very lucky, I have been hearing off and on in past few, I would say, years. So I gave it a thought, what is the meaning of this word being lucky? In fact, when I researched, I found out that 20 centuries back, a Roman philosopher by the name Seneca explained this word luck. And he very simply mentioned that luck is, or luck happens when preparation meets opportunity. So this stuck to me. Opportunity should be there and you should be prepared to exploit that opportunity. And then I started rethinking about my own career. I did my BTech engineering, and I am very happy with that I did my engineering, I did a technical education. After completing my engineering, I got a chance to work in a process industry, a PVC calendaring plant of Goenka Group, and my first salary check was 2,000 rupees. That was the first salary check. And as was the social practice during those days, I was into job, and immediately afterwards, I married, because that was the social culture that as soon as you start working, you should get married. So immediately after that, I got married, and within 2 years, I was blessed with my elder son, who is now doing his civil engineering BTech from Delhi College of Engineering. So I was blessed with the first son. And absolutely, at that point of time, my bank account was not having even 1,000 rupees as the savings. So, no financial standing at all. And then I decided, because I did not want to have the same kind of life for my kids, that on Monday you will be getting 1 rupee and you need to spend 1 rupee for the entire week. So I decided to work on myself, because I was impressed by that Seneca thing. So I now see that how it all transpired. So I decided to work on myself. In my factory job, I enrolled for MBA program, a distance learning MBA program from Indira Gandhi National Open University. Still I had time, so I enrolled for evening law program. So I was going to the factory in the day, and I was doing online MBA, I was doing evening law program. then the first opportunity struck. I got a call from a very prestigious management institute in Ghaziabad by the name IMT. They were looking for a person who is from BTech background, having some information, some knowledge of law, and who can teach, because of his industry experience, manufacturing strategy. I got that opportunity. I took that opportunity. I was very young. The students in the class, those working professionals, half of the class was having age more than the teacher. But then there was no issue because I was full of confidence. I knew what I was teaching. So I took that opportunity. It was late evening classes, starting from 7:30 going up to 10 in the night. And I really liked teaching from the day one. Because I liked teaching from the day one, immediately afterwards, I shifted to full-time academics. That was opportunity number 2. I shifted to full-time academics. In full-time academics, I was pursuing my MBA, I was pursuing my law. The college where I was working, they decided to start a law college. And in those days, the requirement to be a principal of a law college was only LLB. And very soon, at the age of 30, I got my another break. I was offered the post of principal of law college. And I think I was one of the youngest principals. So I became principal of the law college. By the time my law program completed, of course, before that, I immediately applied for Masters in Engineering, MTech program at Delhi College of Engineering, which is at Kashmiri Gate during those days. I applied for that and I got first position in the entrance exam. In fact, I require, because during those days there was no online publication of results, ranks, so it was pasted on the notice board and we were not having mobile phones to click picture. So I went to the clerk and I requested him, can I have a printout of this result? And I'm still carrying that results with me today. So I got into pursuing my MTech. The classes were there in the morning, 8 to 11, in the morning at 8 o'clock. And I was working full time in a college. So I thought how it's going to work out. And by the time I was in ITS Mohan Nagar, a management, very prestigious management college. So I went to the management and I offered them that there is one office in the college which is registrar's office, which works till late in the evening. So I'm happy to work as registrar and I'll be putting in 8 hours completely every day. I'll come back from Delhi after attending my classes. I'll reach campus at 12 o'clock. I'll work till 8 in the night and then I'll go back home. Again, as luck would have it, they agreed. And when they agreed, the thing worked out. And how it worked out? I was leaving my home at 5 in the morning and I was reaching my home back at 10 in the night. So going for my MTech classes and then completing my office responsibilities. Again, because of this effort, another opportunity came. What was that opportunity? That opportunity was the ITS group decided to start a new engineering college in 2006. And they offered me that would you like to become Dean of Engineering College? 2006. I was through with my MTech program. I very happily accepted that. And I tell you, I was the youngest Dean in entire India. I was Dean of Engineering College at the age of 34. Once again, I was prepared, opportunity came. When I was working as Dean, there was a lot of work. A lot of work means it's a new college. We were creating lots of reports, lots of typing. Microsoft Office was becoming very popular those days. So what I did, I joined a typing class in the evening. That after my office, I'll go and learn how to type using all my 10 fingers. Because I wanted to be fast in typing and preparing reports. In the morning, I went to Aptech. Aptech was a good computer oriented training centers. So I went to Aptech. I joined their first batch in the morning. It was from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. They were teaching MS Office program. So I joined that. So in the morning I was going to Aptech, learning Microsoft Office, then going to my office. In the evening I was going to learn typing, and that was my day. Again the day extended. Then I got the next opportunity, a big opportunity I would say. UP Awas Vikas, a big government organization, they approached me for conducting a management development program on MS Office and MS projects for all the engineers of UP Awas Vikas. Also, I conducted 2 MDPs for Ghaziabad district police officials and Greater Noida police officials. At that time, these 2 districts were same, so there was 2 programs, and again, I was teaching MS Office. After these MDPs, I joined my PhD program, and because I was quite proficient in MS Excel, I was quite proficient in typing. In 2 years, the minimum duration, I submitted my thesis for evaluation, and I was awarded PhD in flat minimum 3 years time. And then I got another big opportunity because PhD was required to be director of an institution. I became Director General of one large campus having engineering college and management college at the age of 39 years. What is the message I am trying to drive? The message I am trying to drive is that there will be plenty of opportunities. The point is, you should be prepared at all stages. Very recently, this pandemic started. In the month of March, the education sector closed down. No physical classes. We all were sitting at home and trying to deliver academics, deliver lectures using online medium. I wrote a book, Paper to Screen, The Future of Education. And this book basically covers what a teacher should do to take the physical class online. What a student should do, what parents should do, what college administration should do to take the physical class to the online medium. And that book of mine is 3rd in the Amazon best-selling education books list. Another interesting part, a professor from a Persian university, Iran, Dr. Shireen Abdalikha, she found that book so interesting that she has translated my entire book into Persian language, and I think in next 2-3 weeks, the Persian book will be available of my Paper to Screen book in 2 languages. The point I am driving is that all of you can be very, very lucky. All young people in India can be very, very lucky. And why I am saying this? I have certain statistics to prove my point, to give you confidence. The point is that Indian population is 1.38 billion. 138 crore people are there. India is 5th largest economy in the world. And also India is one of the 5 fastest growing economies of the world. Only one country which is 5th largest and one of the 5 fastest growing economies. The 4 larger economies are US, China, Japan, Germany. The average age of China is 38 years, 10 years more than us. Ours is 28, theirs is 38. Average age of US is 40 years. Average median age of Germany is 46 years. And average median age of Japan is 50 years. So all the 3 larger economies, 4 larger economies than India, they are going to slow down because of their demographics. While India is going to become big, big and big. The 4 economies which are growing faster than India, they are very small economies. Countries like Ethiopia, countries like Rwanda, countries like Bangladesh, Yuan, they are the faster growing economies. They are very, very small. It means they are never going to compete with us. So young people in India have next 5 wonderful decades. Next 50 years are going to be India's decades. 50 years, and which is good enough. Right now, 58 Indian origin people are heading multinational corporations worldwide. You must have learned about that. Be it Google, Microsoft, Deloitte, all these multinational companies are headed by Indian origin people. We are going to be largest exporter of skilled human manpower to the entire world. There is going to be plenty and plenty and plenty of opportunities. You cannot even imagine how much money you can earn, how much big systems you can create, how much big entrepreneur businesses you can create in next 50 years in India. I am happy with a 30,000 rupees phone. My father, who is older than me, of course, is happy with a 15,000 rupees phone. But my both the sons are having Apple latest iPhones. What it shows these young people are going to earn money in a big way and going to consume things. What is GDP? Gross Domestic Product. When we consume more, when we buy costly things, the GDP is bound to increase. My first cousin, her son is working in Singapore. Last year in November, he came to India and he purchased a BMW X series car and gifted this car to his parents on their anniversary. Son is gifting a BMW car to the parents. These examples will not be rare. These examples will be very, very common. Because these young people, they will earn money, they will consume things, and India is bound to grow at a very, very fast pace. So all the young people need to be very confident about their future. And what do you need? You need very simple things. What do you need to become successful? Number 1, self-motivation. Number 2, practice of goal setting, long-term vision, communication skills, information technology skills, negotiation skills, team working, and all these things are very easy to learn, very easy to develop. If some young Indian kid now is not successful after 10 years, then he is only having himself or herself to blame. Country is going to provide lot of opportunities, and if you are prepared, you can be very, very lucky. Thank you very much for this patient listening. Thank you.